the slave trade casts a long shadow over Nigeria. For centuries, millions of Africans were forcibly removed from their homes. Nigeria, with its diverse ethnic groups and strategic coastal location, became a major hub for the transatlantic slave trade. The impact of this trade on Nigeria was profound and devastating. It continues to shape the country's social, economic, and political landscape even today. This essay explores the history of the slave trade in Nigeria. We will examine its origins in pre-colonial times and the arrival of European powers. The essay will highlight key slave trading centers like Calabar, Badagry, and Lagos. We will also discuss the devastating impact of the trade on Nigerian societies. Finally, we will examine the abolition of the slave trade and its lasting legacy on modern Nigeria. The transatlantic slave trade was a tragedy of immense proportions. Millions of Africans endured unimaginable suffering and brutality. In Nigeria, the legacy of the slave trade is still felt today. Before the arrival of Europeans, slavery existed in various forms in pre-colonial Nigeria. It was often a byproduct of warfare, debt, or punishment within existing social structures. Unlike the chattel slavery that would later define the transatlantic trade, enslaved people in pre-colonial Nigeria often had some rights and could even ascend to positions of power within their communities. They were often integrated into the kinship system of their enslavers. They could inherit property and marry into their families. Slavery in pre-colonial Nigeria was not based on race or ethnicity. It was often a temporary status rather than a permanent condition. Enslaved people could earn their freedom or be ransomed by their families. They could also be absorbed into the society that enslaved them over time. The arrival of European powers in the 15th century would dramatically alter the dynamics of slavery in Nigeria. The transatlantic slave trade, driven by the demand for labor in the Americas, would transform slavery from a relatively small-scale practice into a massive and brutal industry. This new form of slavery would have a devastating impact on Nigerian societies. It would lead to the forced migration of millions of people, the disruption of local economies, and the fueling of interethnic conflicts. The demand for labor in the Americas was growing rapidly. The transatlantic slave trade left an indelible mark on the geography and history of Nigeria. Several coastal cities and towns became major centers for the trade, serving as points of departure for millions of enslaved Africans. Three of the most significant slave trading centers in Nigeria were Calabar, Badagry, and Lagos. Each of these ports played a distinct role in the trade and witnessed the horrors inflicted upon enslaved Africans. Calabar, located in present-day Cross River State, was a major hub for the slave trade in the Bight of Biafra. Controlled by the Efik people, Calabar became a major port for European slave ships. The Efik traders, skilled negotiators, amassed wealth and power through their role in the trade. They exchanged enslaved people for European goods such as guns, textiles, and alcohol. Calabar's position as a major slave trading center led to the growth of a wealthy merchant class. However, it also resulted in significant political and social upheaval within the region. Badagry, located in present-day Lagos State, was another important slave trading center. Controlled by the Awari people, Badagry became a major port for ships transporting enslaved Africans to the Americas. The town's proximity to the notorious Point of No Return made it a strategic location for slave traders. See you in the next part. Thank you for watching.